We're going. Let's go. Alrighty. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming to the stream. We're working on this comic here. Let's see how it goes. I'm actually making pretty good progress, which is good because I got a lot left to do. A lot of character stuff anyway. Hello, thank you for coming. It's the bunker. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun. And I'm almost done with all the backgrounds. I basically have like one panel of those left to do. So I'm like, okay, good. And I'll just focus on the characters then. I gotta try and remember. So I tried to use Dessa's palette from the last thing I did with her. And yeah, we're also gonna try and do the same kind of coloring style that we did last time. Oh, I can't remember. I think that's hooves and that's hair, if I'm recalling correctly. So, mostly putting down flat colors today, I think. Try and do this in order. I just realized I should probably get her eyes down, right? Yeah. Oh, no. Huh. I do. Okay. Try to make sure I get these. I'm pretty sure that's eyes. Might need to go back in later with another color, but yeah, these are just the top colors, or the base colors. We're gonna do those first. Hello, thank you for coming. So we deal with colory stuff today. And alright, yeah, let's see. I'm trying to remember what all these colors are. I like color picked them all from the first art I did of her, and I was like, wait a minute, what are these? I forgot. I'm trying to keep a very dark palette on these because I need to. Hello, thank you all for coming. I hope that your day's going well, at least. My day is going okay so far, though it's very rainy. I just realized I forgot to move the crickets, so sorry you get cricket noise in the background. I hope that's okay. Glad to chill in the stream with cricket noises. No, after school stress. I'm sorry about that. Ugh. Ugh, stresses. Excuse me. Well, say I'm glad I don't have to do school anymore. That's a pain in the butt. Some nighttime vibes, even though it's 1:30 where I am. It's always like, ah, yes, ambience. He likes ambience. Probably just do a little bit of this, but I might do like shading with a different color later. I think that was her skirt with like this kind of dark color. So I don't know if these will look super good until I like add all the lines and stuff to them. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Or listening while you're getting off work. Hope work was good. Ugh, I have that starting next week. I gotta get my login information ready for that. I'm not ready to go back to work. Even though it's been a month and I probably should be ready. I gotta do it eventually. I need to keep making the monies to pay the bill. Well, I wish I could just do this, but I cannot. That should be a good show. And a nice long contract so I can save up my money for a while, which is good. I'm trying to get as much of this done as I can. In the meanwhile, especially since I want to have this one done by the... Did I use the wrong thing? I don't think so. No, that one's that color. Listening while playing Minecraft. What are you building in Minecraft? I've actually never played Minecraft. I know, shocking. But I have Oh, oh yeah, I guess it is nighttime in other parts of the world. I just realized, I think her nose is not red. Did I make her nose red? I can't remember. I don't think it was red. I think her nose is just dark. Something I couldn't remember. I think I might just make her nose one of these dark colors. How dare I not play Minecraft? I got a bajillion other things to do. How dare I not? No! I'm gonna try to see. Back in my day, I played with Legos. And that was Minecraft before Minecraft. Kinda true. Kinda true. Yeah, I think she has dark nose. Might go back in there later with actually. Yeah, probably need to go back in here with better things. Right now we're just trying to get down primary color, so it's probably gonna look a little weird while I'm doing it. But I like doing sessions of everything at once. Train tracks in the caves. I was about to say, I feel like an underground train would make me nervous, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's a subway. I'm on those all the time. Those are fine. It's fine. Yeah, little details we'll have to go back in with a different brush, but we're just working on this stuff for now. And I think, yeah, that's for herbs. I'm trying to remember what all the colors I picked for this are. I feel like I'm missing some. I don't know. Hey, if you have fun doing it, then that's all good. So this is gonna look weird until I actually add little details to it, but that's okay. I feel like I should have a different color flashlight. I don't know. It can be like a bright blue, like this. She's wearing Shanty's jacket for reasons. The reasons are because I say so, or something. Yeah, we'll do details later. Like, what is that kind of flashlighty color? It's like very bright. Yes, secretly Shanty. Oh no, she got whisked away on the skybox. That's what happened to her. Oh no! Hometown is the skybox. Oh, that's the secret theory. Hometown skybox confirmed? Alright. Chris, why are your pants and your shoes the same color? Shanty's mom got sent to hometown. She's fine. She's just in hometown. Yeah, we're just gonna have to kind of fudge Chris's shoes here a bit. Chris just has combination shoes and pants. Chris can wear whatever they want. Yeah, I guess that's true. They're human. Who's gonna stop them? Not us jokesters. Probably go back over that a little bit. Sometimes I do wish their skin wasn't like so Simpsons yellow, because Like, it feels fine in the game, and then when you try and draw it, you're like, this doesn't look right somehow. Why is this not looking right? Even though, literally, it's just color picking from the thing itself. So it shouldn't be a problem, and yet. Feels weird, man. Figure out have like a turtleneck on under this. Probably should make that a different color. I guess this will also be a test and see if hopefully I don't get any computer problems while I'm working on this. Want my brush? This is just a oil heavy flow dry edges. I don't remember where I got this. This is a 2 stripes because this is their 2-stripe era. For reasons. I feel like I should pick another color. What should it be? I'll make it dark green. Let's keep the green theme going. I got lots of fun brushes. It's easier to make it all like the same brush. Alright, they need their horn headband. We want our little devil headband. Let's see. Right now we're just getting down flat colors so that we can add all the little details later. But even the flat colors are starting dark. And try and get everything going on here. Like everything's super dark, oh no! Yeah, this was this one. So you get to see some funky coloring here. Not how I usually do things, but it's fun. I swear I already can't remember what I was using for stuff. No. Really should just get out the other picture I did of her. Yes. They have finally graduated to 2 stripes. Only this is when they were a kid, so they started at 2 stripes. And they went down to 1. What happened? They lost a stripe. Tooth. That was the wrong. I can't remember which one was hair, which one was hooves. Baby Chris of the mini striped. Get it, mini striped, because they're baby. They're just baby. Yeah, once they finally get to be an adult, no more stripes. Only children can have stripes. For lore reasons. You're a kid, right? I can tell because you're wearing a striped shirt. Only us kids can have striped shirts. That's how you get promoted in hometown. Like when you're a baby, you start out with many stripes, and then as you get older and older, you lose more and more stripes until finally you graduate to no stripes. No stripes about it. I feel like it's not correct color. It's not. I don't know what it's not correct color. It's the hoof color. With the stuff down it it's hard to tell the difference sometimes, but no, that's not correct. This is correct. Okay. That's hair, that's hoofs. Hair is top, hoofs is bottom. Note to self. I know people tend to draw Des with like dark hair and stuff, but I'm always like, but it fits for her. And she kind of following like Rudy's hair is all dark, so. And I'm guessing probably the mayor's is blonde. Still maintaining her name's probably Carol, but somebody mentioned it might be Clarice, and I actually do like Clarice as an option. So I would not be adverse to her name being Clarice. Love me some childhood deep cuts of Christmas media. So either Carol or Clarice are my votes for mayor's name. Excuse me. Ooh, stop motion videos. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to do stop motion videos with like my toys all the time. It was really fun. I like doing it. Haven't done it much anymore. Yeah, it's crazy how like when you're a kid, you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna feel like doing this. So I would do like some little stop motion videos. Did some, I guess what now would be considered machinima. But at the time I was just like, I'm gonna use Smash Brothers to make a funny music video. And yeah, that was machinima. You cannot use the brush tool. Okay, I'm kind of annoyed now. I'm gonna open up where the heck is my desk picture? I can't remember what color I was doing her hair on. That's bothering me. Okay, her hair was this brown, and this one is okay. Taking that off. Oh, you know what? Come on. That. No, wrong. Oh, no wonder I didn't see it. The purple is over there and it's so dark I can't, like, see it. Good grief. Good grief. So purple's over there. Okay, hair, hooves, skirt. Can't see crap. It's too dark. It's too dang dark. Yeah, it's kind of thing where you get, as you get older, you're like, oh, I don't have time for this sort of thing. But when you're a little kid, you're like, oh, I have time for this. This is fun. And it is fun. But you always have more time for stuff when you're a kid. I'm hoping this will look good, even if the colors are very dark. We're doing like a dark blue here. Probably should pick a different color for the flashlight, but whatever. Not gonna have that forever. But yeah, when I was little, I used to make like little movies with toys that we had. had lots and lots of action figures, so we were able to make lots of little toy movies. Lots of like Legos and Playmobil and all that goodness. And it was very fun. I always liked that. Whee! I hope this will also look good with once I add like a whole bunch of overlay layers and effects and all that goodness. Everybody loves overlay layers. They make everything cohesive, probably. Used correctly. Okay, yeah, I'll do lighting effects later. I've got like a bunch of different references here because I need them all. Let's see. Get their hair. Dark spot there. Oh, thank you. Yeah, exactly. I love that kind of stuff. When you're a little kid, you just feel free to do it. Nobody stops you. Which, thank goodness, they don't. I always like doing that kind of stuff. Kids should be allowed to make weird little stop-motion movies with their Legos. Or their littlest pet shops, whatever they want. Chris's little Heidi face. Chris doing a Heidi face. They're a little spooked. Yeah, just doing things when you were a kid. You just do, like, I feel like doing this, and you could just go and do it. Well, with some limitations, but definitely had the freedom of time to do it. Yeah, and also before people got all self-conscious. There's also, honestly, a thing I'm a little bit concerned about with kids being on the internet is that I fear that they're going to get more self-conscious earlier. And I'm like, no, the time to just do whatever the heck you want is when you're a kid. And nobody cares. That's when you do it. They're not graduated their stripes yet. Yeah, exactly. You didn't have to worry about it having a comprehensible story. It's just like, I want to do this. I'm an adult and I have to worry about things being comprehensible now. When I was a kid, I was like, I'm going to have my characters doing weird things and being funny. And nobody cared. It was great. Okay. I'll make sure and save early, save often, all along the way. Yeah, I think we'll just work on getting flat colors down. Heck with you. Heck with you. I'm trying to get here. Yeah, indulge in that cringe stuff. Do it. Do the cringe. It shouldn't be that dark, but oh well. Probably is. It's kind of annoying that I have to like go back and forth against this all the time. Maybe I should make this slightly bigger. I don't know. You are cringe, but you are free, as they say. So be cringe and be free. Like a bird. I need to learn how to be more cringe. It's really hard to be cringe, especially online, when I'm like, my boss is probably looking at this. Oh no! We all follow each other on the social medias. Exactly. And apologies if I keep coughing. I've still got that chronic cough issue going on, which is not very fun. Make sure I got that down okay. Exactly. You gotta have cringe. It's necessary. And we get down all these flat colors. Des is a little bit sassy, but just a little. Mostly she's cool. Exactly. Better to be cringe than to be mean. And I say this having been both cringe and mean, so having experienced both being cringe and mean, it's better to be cringe than to be mean. I know, I'm trying not to die, I'm sorry. It's just a chronic cough that I got after I was sick a few weeks ago. I'm doing my best. So is Des. Yeah, the fact that it's just a cough that just kind of keeps happening and happening is extremely annoying, and I'm trying to go about my day. It's like, I got stuff to do. Why are you doing this to me? I'm not sure when I should stop to do my break. I feel like all my timing is off now. Okay. Oh man, what colors did I have for the inside of her mouth again? I can't remember. Let's see how far we can at least get with this stuff. I might need to go over that again with another brush because her eyebrow's being lost. Lost in the madness. Oh yeah, like I'm keeping track of the time. I do like to do a break every half hour for myself, but I was trying to time it with the ad breaks. But I think they're all off sync now. The madness of hair and me trying to layer what goes on top of what. Just true madness. Get a little bit further, and yeah, I'll probably take a quick half-hour break. Which, good grief, time goes fast. I'm already on first break, and we're just getting started, it feels like. This is a fun brush to work with, but it is a little bit funky. Let's do the hair real quick, and then we'll stop and take a break. So I can stretch and make sure that I'm not messing up my wrist, because I can definitely tell I'm like, oh, okay, I can feel my wrist getting annoyed with me. With work starting next week, I'll have to take better care of that. Yeah, I think they do show up right when you get there. At least the way I have it set up now. I can change it though. Probably should. Let's get her hair down at least, and then I'll stop and stretch real quick. Yeah, this is mostly just getting character flats down. I'm trying to take care of bleeding into itself. I said, no, what are you doing? Eee. Okay. Actually, I don't think she has hair there. Okay. Oh, that looks okay. I know it looks a little weird off the bat. But I promise this is a necessary step. Okay, time to stretch my wrists real quick. But I'm hoping to get this done by Halloween for anniversary, which I guess this will be the 5th anniversary, won't it? Because it came out in 2018, if I remember correctly, which is kind of nuts. Or chapter 1 came out in 2018, and then, or was it later than that? Was it really only 3 years after Undertale? For some reason I thought it was more than 3 years after Undertale. I keep wanting to say it was 5 years, but maybe I'm wrong. I know I definitely feel old. And we probably still have another, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 years or so till the end of Deltarune. We've got to get through 5 more chapters. Gotta get through it. But I'm hoping we'll get the next 3 next year. That'd be good. I definitely don't think we're getting them this year. Whew. I'm definitely gonna go back over this with a lot of overlay layers. That's true. Since 2012. So for Toby, it's been over 10 years. Good grief. I'm sure he is more eager than anyone to actually finish it, so. I've been planning, when is it coming out yet? Toby's like, I've had this in my brain for 10 years. You've only had it for half that time. So there you go. Alright, be right back for one more stretch. And I return. Now, there's only crickets until I come back, in which case there's me and crickets. What was I doing in 2012? I don't know, something ridiculous. Something silly. Okay. Definitely rough stuff going on. I don't like that color. A bit darker. need a difficult brush. This will be fine. Alright, the ding-dang flashlight. Which I'm only picking blue because that's the color that happens to be in front of me. She's got, because Noelle's got, you know, red and green on her for Christmas. I'm like, okay. Des has red and green on her too, just differently. Ugh. I wonder when the chronic cough will go away. I hope it's soon. But I have no way of knowing. This one's on. Half the songs. Take care of that. Ooh, banana. That's pretty yummy. I ordered some raspberries this weekend, so I'll give one to Alfie's and see if she likes it. But I should also get a banana sometime because bananas are also tasty. Chris is like, I have uncertainties, but it's okay. I had French fries, but they're gone now. No! That is tragedy. It's tragedy when you could have French fries, but you can no longer have French fries because they are gone. Because you ate all the French fries. Of course, your hair gets everywhere. So for some reason, the extra turtleneck makes them look like they're in like The Shining or something, which I guess appropriate because it's supposed to be scary. They're supposed to be spooky. It's Halloween. Biggest loss ever. Having had French fries and having lost French fries. Truly a great loss. Nothing could be worse than that. And a loss of French fries. Oh, phew, that's a big paper. Ugh, I hope it goes well. I know that can be stressful, but I'm sure you will do well. I'm definitely glad I don't have to worry about papers anymore, though. Because that is, if nothing else, a stress. But good luck with your papers. have more success with your paper than Chris has with what they're doing here. Okay. No. Sorry. I couldn't help myself. Chris gets trauma for life. Hello, hello, thank you for coming to the stream. It's gonna look a little funky now as I'm just putting down flat colors for the characters. I am doing alright. If I cough a bunch, I am fine. I've just gotten a chronic cough that came up after I was sick about a week and a half ago. Trade machine. I received death. You received trauma for life. Exactly. Chris is like, I don't like this trade. This trade kind of sucks. And speaking of, then I also have to work on the next Deltarune comic with Chris and Ralsei. You receive power to control eldritch beasts. I receive your soul. Chris is like, sure, sounds fair. I won't die. I'll just make upsetting noises in the meanwhile. So sorry about the upsetting noises. I do need to ask about that chronic cough stuff at the doctor sometime though. It seems to pop up just like after I'm sick. Whatever I'm sick with. Yeah, I was working on the script for that next one, and I was like, holy crap, this is long. There's a lot of dialogue in here. So, I think I'm going to try and split it up into 3 parts. Which will hopefully all make sense. And it really is kind of supposed to be read as one scene. I just think it would be too long for one scene. I also wanted to work on like some character art for Deltarune. People keep asking about it, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop putting that off and actually do it. But this is taking priority just because I have a time limit for this. I want to finish it by the anniversary. And it's nice to do a color thing. Are my keys worn? Probably not yet. They all look about the same. I'm trying to think of which keys would be worn down from using Photoshop. Probably the resize keys, maybe Alt. I'm sure some things, but they all look the same to me right now. What did I have for her open mouth? Oh, here, wasn't it? Just still has it open here. Are your keys worn? But yeah, I don't know. They look about the same. But this is a fairly new keyboard too, so I'm sure with time it'll start to look a little bit more rugged. It's not quite there yet. Assuming I use the same keyboard for that long. I feel like I have had keyboards in the past that, you know, eventually keeled over from something or other. I do remember, like, when I was much younger, we had like a big old, I can't remember what the, not like a soft digital keyboard, but like a much older one. I was like, I'm gonna clean this. This looks really dirty, and I'm gonna clean it. So I like popped all the keys off and cleaned them all individually. And that was immensely satisfying. Just to like pop all the keys off individually. Now I know why birds do it. It's nice. Yeah, sometimes you just get like go on a wild tear and you're like, oh man, I want to clean this. And when you're cleaning it, you're like, oh, this is great. I love cleaning this. Which is an unusual thing to have happen, but can happen. It's kind of nice doing that tree planting thing last week, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in the dirt. Here I go in the dirt. Whee! All my clothes are horribly dirty now. Whee! Me, 10 hours later. I'm horribly sore. I haven't done hard labor in forever. Oh no. But it was fun to dig in the dirt a bit. Even if it made me filthy and sore. Should probably try and do that more often. I'm sure it's probably good for me. I'm like, but I got stuff I want to work on instead. I'll probably also go over this with more detail stuff. Okay, got most of those down. Yeah, Chris is like, I'm the coolest actually. Even if I don't know what color my dang shoes are. Excuse me. Yeah, I probably should do that too. It's just, it's harder on a keyboard like this. On that old one I had, it's a little easier because, like, again, it's possible just like, pop! Like, get your nail under the keys and pop them out. And, that's not so doable here, I guess, unfortunately. Do something about. Again, Chris, why do your pants turn into your shoes? Why are they one and the same? You don't have different shoes. What happened to them? Where have they gone to? Why are your pants and your hair the same color? Oh, yeah, that's always tough. It's like, I have an old computer. Oh no, this isn't gonna last. I need to try and make an effort to clean out probably the inside of my computer more often. Because when I did it recently, I was like, oh my goodness, it's extremely dusty in here. It's kind of terrifying. Just a giant pile of dust bunnies. It was very awkward looking. Very, damn, bitch, you live like this? For my computer. And I guess that's about how old my computer is, too. Oh, I need to do their eyes. Even if I'm painting over them, I still should do them. And I was working on script stuff for next Deltarune comic, and I'm like, oh, this will be a cool way to end this particular one. And I was like, wait a minute, this is the same way I ended Deal with the Devil. Oh no, patterns repeat. I guess for this kind of thing it would be inevitable. I'll probably make light of that in some way. Hey, if it's still going at 8 years old, stick with it. It's a good sign. Goodness knows it's expensive to like get new stuff nowadays, so I might as well hang on to it if it's working. Might as well. Mine is making noises. Please don't make too many noises, computer. Please cooperate. Where's the green? I know I have some green up here. My car is, I'm trying to remember how old my car is right now. It's probably very old. I'm going to keep using that until that falls apart. Definitely at least 10 years old, not more. Okay, we got some basic colors down for this. Of course, we're going to do shading and stuff later. So, onward ho! To next page! And I thought we might be blazing through these colors quickly, but it's probably going to take a little longer than I thought, but that's okay. Making any progress is good. Like, oh, it does looks cute. Oh no. That color there. How am I doing that? Probably would have kept my old car for longer too, but the last two cars I've had, somebody's bumped into them and hit them, and I've had to replace them as a result, which is not fun. What do you want? It's white. Get back over here and color pick from whatever I did with her mouth. It's something or other. Layer the stuff on top of each other. Okay. And meanwhile, the crickets are like, ladies, ladies, listen to me, ladies. I did finally find that cricket that got loose in my house, which was not great, but I found it and I squashed it. I would give them Alfie's, but if they got loose in the house, then I don't know where they've been, and I don't want her to eat stuff where I don't know where it's been. hunt them. At least he's actually looking for them. Like, even when I had that cricket loose in the house, I'm like, Alfie's, go find it. She was like, no. I expect you to just give me the crickets in my bowl. I don't want to have to hunt for them. I'm like, girl, you are a predator. You need to go hunt your dinner. She's like, no, I don't. Oh, pfft. Have you considered using Photoshop? What's annoying me, which I'm probably going to complain about this on social media lately, I'm so annoyed that, like, I'm all the time getting ads to be like, you should try AI. Have you tried AI? I'm like, have you tried shutting up? I'm already paying for you. Why on earth would I, like, can I, like, opt out of your stupid advertisements since I'm already paying for your service, which most people are not? But both the cricket and the cat were like, we're too sleepy for this. We have both contracted sleepy bitch disease. So, nobody's getting chased today. Yeah, good grief, I'm tired of this friggin' AI ads. Like, they're not even like ads, they're just like little pop-ups that are like, hey, notice that you have Adobe on your computer. Have you considered doing AI with that? And I'm like, no. Be gone with your evil ways. Yes, Des is still wearing Shanty's jacket. Because that's what I have color reference for. Looks like she has one eye, but she is winking. She wink. Cat did not want hand-delivered cricket. Yeah, she's like, I don't want to eat it, I just want to chase. Whereas Alfie's just like, I'll have to eat that, which means I'll have to chase it. I don't want to chase it, you get it for me. Separated by a continent, indeed. Well, I don't think it's a whole continent. I think we're just a country away. We're separated by one border. Unless you mean, like, the land of a continent, in which case that probably is a ways away. I don't know, what would you call it? Why do I have so many pictures of Chris's shoes when I don't remember what color I was doing with their shoes? Ah, I'm stupid. Foolish, foolish, foolish. We are a large amount of landmass away. Probably too far for a cricket to travel, or a lizard to travel. She barely wants to travel outside of her little hide. She's like, man, I went a whole 5 inches today. Whew. You have to rest from that. Chris, what is happening? With your shoes, what is happening? Well, I think beardies are usually more active during the day, but she's just a bit of a lump. But they are diurnal animals in that they, like, get their energy from the sun. So she sleeps at night and is active during the day. And by active, I mean she likes to stay inside her hide all day. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe that's just how she is now. Yeah, usually they are active during the day, if that's what you mean, because that's when the sun is out. Maybe I should, a little bit here. See the bottom of their shoe. My shoe. Oh, a small version. Very smalls. Very smalls. Sometimes it's hard to draw these guys walking. These hooves aren't made for walking. I think lizards in general do like just lay around to conserve energy. They're like, do I have to go and do this? No? Well, never mind then. I'm not gonna do it. That's not right. And they're smart. They're like, I don't have to do it. I'm gonna lay around. How old are the characters intended to be in this? I mean, I think they're, let's see. Because it's got to be like when, for example, like that spelling bee where Noelle was clearly upset about it, happened when she was fairly young. So, I'm guessing they're around like, 9 or 10 maybe? Maybe between 8 and 10? Well, that is many miles, yes. That is quite a few miles. More than I'm willing to walk. Yeah, Des is probably in her teens. Because I imagine that Asriel is like 2 to 3 years older than Chris. And Des is probably about the same with her and Noelle. So Des and Asriel, I'm guessing, are around like 14 or so. It'd be nice if we had like actual ages in canon, but I kind of doubt we're ever going to get those. It's always like narratively easier to keep things vague. It's because there's a lot going on. Probably go after this for details later. Yeah, exactly. I do think, like, my current guess is that where they are right now in canon, like, you know, Noelle and Chris and Susie, is, I think they're probably 16. One, because that's usually a pretty, you know, formative age for a number of reasons, and that works thematically. And two, they're kind of in that sweet spot of, okay, they're still kids, they're still teens, but they're, like, on the cusp of adulthood, and that's where you can get the themes of like identity really playing in, stuff like that. So my guess is they're between 15 to 17, probably just 16. So this would have been like 6 or 7 years ago for them. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go over that with the details later. A little bit better brushes for it. Yeah, my guess is that they're about 16 in canon. Sweet 16. I realize I should probably take my break now, so that I can stretch. Yes, Des is having regular hands in this one. One for reasons of like plot and what happens. Like, I think she's gonna need fingers for stuff better than hooves. And two, I am still trying to like vaguely transition to doing the holidays with regular hands instead of hoof hands. Even though I do just design-wise like the hoof hands better. I think, just in this particular case, they need the regular hands. Because it wasn't, like, very clear in Chapter 1 what kind of hands Noelle had. And then, like, in Chapter 2, you're like, okay, she's pretty clearly supposed to have fingers. Like, she has rings, for example. She is pointing in some sprites, like if she had hands. It was like pointing with fingers kind of stuff. So, she's supposed to have fingers, I think, which is a little bit of a shame. I like them with the hoof hands. I mean, some stuff I still draw kind of wrong on purpose. Like, I think both Susie and all the Dreamers are supposed to have 5 fingers on their hand, and I usually draw them with 4. Because I think they look better with 4 fingers, and you don't necessarily have to have the 5th, the pinky for, you know, doing the regular things they do. But I think canonically they're supposed to have 5 fingers. For reasons. I don't know. It's hard to tell when you're working with sprites. But yeah, doing my stretches really quick. Yeah, I think like the one shot we see of, like, you know, when they're falling into the dark world in Chapter 1 and you see Susie's hand outstretched, I'm pretty sure she has 5 fingers. So that would be that for that. Okay. Be right back for one more stretch. One more. I return. But at least we know they do have hoof feet. I feel like that part at least is pretty clear. Hairs. Alright, we'll go back in with details later for that. Funny how the monsters always seem to have like either just regular 5, you know, fingered hands, even when it seems like they should have something else, or literally no arms. That's what we got. Like you're either a 5-finger person or a no arms person. Her hand looks really big compared to Chris's hand there. Oh well. Oh, sorry. Sound terrible with the coughing, but I actually am fine. I just sound like crap. I'm trying my best. No calving. No caving. No caving. How will I go spelunking then? No cahoots. Not a single cahoot to be had. That's so sad. I'll definitely have to go over this with a detailed brush later. Looks look kind of funky with just the flats right now. And hopefully it'll look good by the time it's done. No, I would probably be terrible at it too. Honestly. Be like, you'd ask me some questions about paper trail, I'd be like, I don't know. You could make a new Deltarune Kahoot, and I'd probably still fail that one too. Yeah, there's some really specific things. I remember that. I just remember some things where I'm like, wait, what did I do for that? I don't know. I can't remember what colors I had for the inside of Chris's mouth. I feel like I should have some of them, I don't know what. Yeah, I remember some questions on that Kahoot were pretty dang hard, actually. They were not easy. Chris, your hair keeps getting in the way of your expressions, and I feel like that's on purpose. It's probably intentional. But yeah, those Kahoots were really fun. We should do another, whatchamahoo? The drawing game. Suddenly forgetting it. What is it called? Oh, Gartic Phone. We should do Gartic Phone on the server again sometime. Because those are always very cute and fun. We got some very silly things from it. Plus we have some new people now that might enjoy playing it. Yeah. We've done some Gartic Phone sessions before, and they're always end up very funny. Yeah, I'll try and set aside a time for that at some point. The problem is I'm always like, but I've got comics to draw. Yeah, if there's interest, then we should do some Gartic Phone. I don't think we've done some since I started doing all this Deltarune stuff, so I'm sure we could get some really interesting things this time. Yeah, Gartic Phone's very funny. I'm sure that a demo has like the archives of ones we've done in the past. Silliness occurred. because my train of thought went to FPFN stuff, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do more Spiritfarer, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm like, promised I would do some resource stuff off screen, and I still haven't done that yet. So many resources together. Alright, is that for that? Yeah. I'm sure it's gonna look very weird until I add all the shading and stuff. And details and all that goodness. Okay. Time to do. Oh no, Chris, watch where you're walking! Ah! I'm trying to walk through this dark and creepy area, and all of a sudden there's just stuff happening. Why are they not wearing socks? They're like, I'm weird, I don't need no socks. Socks are for chumps. Even though Tori probably not be like, Chris, don't leave without your socks. Actually, I did draw socks. Never mind. Socks are not for chumps. They're just for not drawn very often. I did that with another color up there. Oh no! Stuff is crumbling right before our eyes. I'll probably go back and do their shoelaces with like another darker color later. We won't worry about that quite yet. Didn't I have another shoe color up here? Yes, I did. Yeah, shoelaces will be with different stuff. Excuse me. I'm used to them having the bottom of the shoe so I can see what they're doing. There we go. Is that all of that for this page? I think so. Yep, that's all that for that page. It's gonna look so weird until I do the shading. Alright, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, thank you. This will be done. Well, I don't know when it'll be done, but it'll be up around Halloween. If all goes according to plan, which it better. Why is stuff falling out from under them? Who knows? Can't help you falling to my death. They're little puffies. She better hoof it over there. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah. I say making sad music, sad trombone music for horrific trauma time. What this traumatic moment needs is sad trombone music. Thanks, Sans Undertale. Death got sent to the Shadow Realm. She did. Four kids determined that, you know, can't have anything violent, so they get sent to the Shadow Realm. Is this horrific traumatic moment 4 kids approved? It better be. Are you a single mother? You will be soon. Spamton, what did you mean by that? And now I want to watch the Spamton Value Sweepstakes again, just for a little bit of a horror nostalgia, because that was such a freaky thing. It was fun, but it was extremely freaky. I wonder if they're ever gonna like show the other ending for it, like, because I know that we got the freedom ending, but they said, oh, we'll show the silence ending sometime later, and I'm like, okay, where is it? Where's the silence ending? I'm sure folks would like to see that. Whatever may be involved in it. Must all rise for the National Spamton. Like, no, my shanty jacket. Surely if I fall into the spot, Phoebus will save me. That's the power of Shanty's jacket and stuff like that. Oh, you never saw the Spamton Sweepstakes? Oh, they're very fun. Yes, they are on YouTube. They're very, very, very weird, but that's what makes them fun. Like that plus everything else we got during like the little ARG that was going on during the sweepstakes. Revealed a lot of interesting lore stuff, for sure. And also the Q&A he did on Twitter. Which we'll see how much longer that's around. I gotta give away some more Blue Sky codes because they're like, oh, by the way, new users are gonna have to pay $1 in order to use the site. And I'm like, I ain't paying to use your site. Elon Musk. I ain't paying for that. But yes, definitely check that out on YouTube. It is both scary and weird and extremely funny. It is all of those and more. Like basically, if you just look up a Spamton Value Network, that should get you it. Because if you just look up Spamton Sweepstakes, you might not get it. But I'll probably get it from Spamton Sweepstakes too. But basically, Spamton Value Network will definitely help you find it. All right, thanks a bunch for coming to the stream, and good luck with work. Glad you're appreciating it. I'm having fun doing it. Even though, again, I imagine this looks very silly with just the flat colors and not the shading down yet. But it'll come eventually. But yes, as always, thank you for coming. I appreciate people hanging out and people lurking and all that goodness. Just happy for you to be here. I realize I kind of have a desk going on with like lapis lazuli hair or something, except it's brown. That kind of funky dark colors for it. Okay, I know I had People are leaving. Oh no, everybody's leaving. But thanks for coming to the stream. I know it's probably late on some time zones, but I'll keep going for a little while, at least until I'm like, I must leave, I am hungry. But I'll go as long as I can. Again, thanks for coming. Well, hey, we're on page 3 in terms of flats. That's pretty good. It's pretty decent. And it's got like a bajillion layers and stuff here on this. Oh, whoops. Oh, that was looking weird. What's it digging into there? Where do we have the socks and stuff? And go back to the shoes. As long as people are sticking around and enjoying it, I will keep on drawing. Probably not going to answer too many questions about why they decided to do this and also what exactly happens here, because admittedly I think this is something we have very little information on. It's very vague. So, vague it will stay. The idea is just that it's scary. It's just supposed to be spooky. Again, I'll do the laces later. Again, Chris, why are your shoes become one with your pants? Do you just have shoe pants you put on every morning? That'd be so awkward to put on. How would you put on something that like is both your shoes and your pants together? They're like connected to each other. I feel like slipping on shoes takes a different set of movements than putting on other things. Putting on your pants. Probably some way you can do it, but I don't know what that is. It's a pants onesie. Chris, why are you still wearing onesies? And again, I'd probably still wear onesies. It's like a half, what are those big, like pajama things called? Kimigori or whatever, something like that? I forget the name of them. It's one of those, but like just for pants and shoes. That would be silly. A pantsy. They're wearing a pantsy. Chris, why would you wear something that's named so silly? Chris is like, oh, where would I want? If that's a pantsy, then it's a pantsy. Imagine getting pants wearing your pantsy. I don't know how that would work, and I don't want to try and figure that out. I forgot the shadow. I'm going to have to go over that again. Shadow first, then the eyeball. Now I'm curious if like something like a pantsy actually exists. It's just like a shoes and pants combo and that's it. What did I have for their inside of the mouth? Let's check that again. Brought to you by people who made the Snuggie. It's the Pantsy. Can I pick a different name for it? No, it's Fancy. You'll wear it and like it. In doubt, steal colors from someplace else. Yelling. Okay. I probably really need to work out whatever Azrael's wearing, because I think he's probably wearing different things too in different areas. Yeah, fancy. It's your shoes, and your socks, and your pants, all together at last. It's the pantsy. Oh, you only have to put on that and a shirt and you're good to go. To be fair, Chris probably is like, I don't want to put on more than a shirt and that. Goodbye. Sheesh. Can't even tell what I'm doing anymore. Chris, your skin is too weird. No, that works for now. Nope. Yeah. We're making progresses. Well, I probably have to stop and do another stretch soon. Ideally. They lost the headband. Just realized, apparently I didn't color that in. Wait, no, that's Chris's arm. It's like, whose arms is this? Whose arms is this? Hello, hello, thank you for coming. All is well with me, all is less well with what's happening with these two. We're going to do a lot of rim light stuff just so you can see what's happening later. A whole lot of rim lights. As well, oh good grief, everything is just under everything else. Found out how to make me laugh instantly. Is it Pansy? Pansy! Everybody loves Pansy. Alright, I'll do her leg real quick and then I probably need to get up and take a break. But I want to keep going. There we go. Yeah, Pansy. When we were talking about why is Chris wearing an outfit that seems to be their shoes and their pants as the same object. It doesn't make sense. I mentioned, well, it's like a onesie but with pants. A pansy. Excuse me. So I'm like by the same people that made the Snuggie, the Pansy. Oh, nice. You get to take off time and just do some art. That's always good. That's always a fun time. I think we did something like that in high school too. Well, I think it was just for the art class, so we didn't get to do that much with it. What is that thing I drew there? What does that color mean? What does it mean? Okay, I drew this. If only I remember what it meant. Yeah, it's always nice when it's like, I don't have to do actual work. I can go do some creative work. Well, creative work is actual work, but the work you would normally be doing. You do something else. That's always fun. Okay. Go. Yeah, if things look weird, it's because we're just putting down flat colors right now. So it's probably looking a little like funky. No, not quite like that. Ah, why do they look like a Muppet? Look a little too small there. I don't know. They are a Muppet. I thought Susie was a Muppet. Oh, they're probably a Muppet too. That's true. They're being controlled by an unknown force, and yet they are their own person. They're absolutely a Muppet. Muppets might actually be a little bit more convincing. Poor Chris. Hand down there. Now let's go ahead and finish most of this, I guess. I really should take that break. I'm just caught up in this. No, come on. Do that right, please. Now let's get this down at least. Oh, okay. Apparently I don't even know where the heck I'm painting on this thing. That's fine. That's normal. Because the purple is too dark. Okay, before we get back to the rest of this, let's take a stretch break. Chris's true nature revealed. They are Muppet. Crispy the Frog. Quisp. Alright, stretch. I can already tell my wrist is a little like, I'm mad at you. Me. I got all kinds of stuff I gotta go back and add in this, especially with lighting and all that goodness. Always have to do some fairly generic shadows on them. Also, this looks a lot lighter on my other screen than it does on my tablet. Ah! That is the dangers of working on tablet. Because then you're like, what colors look good to you? So I'm like, wait, this is different on the other thing. How did this happen? Yeah, the colors are a little bit darker on my tablet, so I'm like, gotta make them, can't make them too dark. Too great. I'm literally looking between screens right now and it looks brighter on the screen preview. Weird. 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 At least we got through almost all the backgrounds. Okay, be right back for one more stretch and some orangey juice. Orangey juice. morning. Your return. Excuse me. Stupid cough. Now it's probably gonna, orange juice is probably gonna bother the cough more and work with me. But I like orange juice. It is tasty and good for you. Alright. Let's do a little bit more. Life is unfair to death. She is doing her best. Go back in with the mouse stuff later. Maybe the eye, I don't know. We'll do the eye now. If you could choose to be a Muppet for the rest of your life, would you do so? Okay, another question. Actually, if you could choose to be a Muppet, but you couldn't choose what they look like, would you choose to be a Muppet? I think I personally would. It's gonna look really funky like this until I shade it in better. Funky little antlers. You have acquired a phone charger. Those are immensely useful. And a bunny. Even more useful. You can use the bunny to charge the phone. I'm kidding. Or you can use the phone charger to charge the bunny. That's not quite right. Okay, that. Of course, if you gave a phone charger to a bunny, they would probably just nibble on it. Be like, oh, a free thing to chew upon. Chew, 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 chew. I shall chew upon this delicious treat. And they have their shoe again. Give me the shoe. Earlier today, I had a lizard. Alphys was just wanted to hang out on my shoulders, and that's it. She did not want to move. She's like, I have acquired human shoulder. I need nothing else at this time. He's a good pancake, exactly. She was just hanging out there like, yep, I don't need nothing else. I'm just a pancake on your shoulder. I'm like, well, I don't need anything else but a pancake on my shoulder, so it's even better. Here. Crisp. And she's a very good pancake. She's a good pancake because yesterday she pooped, finally. I'm like, yeah, she needs to poop. And she did it. Just no, use the power of your hooves. Your hooves. Stand vertically. On the side like a goat. I need to turn this down so I can see what I'm doing some more. Just use your hidden goat powers. Even though you are a reindeer, it's not the same. Chris is like, if I had hidden goat powers, then this wouldn't have happened. This is why I need to be a monster. Oh, Chris, honey, we're not goats. What? Yeah, they're not exactly goats, actually. More like dragon monsters, or dragon goat monsters. But it's still funny to draw them as goats anyway. I gotta turn down a passage to see what I'm doing here. Reindeers are sure-footed in the snow, but maybe not so on crumbling edifices. Ah, wrong tool. Really do gotta wonder how do them goats manage to stay on the side of a cliff or a wall so well when they got hooves? How do they do that? Seems like it wouldn't be logical. Nice if we can get through I don't know, 4 pages today of this, especially since pages 5, 6, and 7 are where it starts to get a little bit funky, at least in terms of colors used. Go back down here and you steal the open mouth colors again. Colors go! It's not too bad. Let's see. Well, this is going to be very hard to see. Oof. I know, why don't I set this whole scene in complete darkness? Surely people will be able to see that. You can tell what's going on here, for sure. Exactly. Meanwhile, I actually was like, haha, yes. It's totally pitch black. Easy background to draw. Little did I realize. come back to bite me. Got that. Here we go. Do the cuff on her jacket there. Almost forgot. Go in her nose. I'll do more details later. Okay. Onward we go. To the next spot. But yeah, that's why I decided to go with fingers for this one. Like, okay, it's probably easier if we just do actual fingers and hooves. I don't know how she would hold on very long if she had hoof hands. Go back to crisp. And get their shoes going. Back to their pantsies. Their weird pantsies. All that in there. Correcto. Needs to be correcto. I hope I did that right. Maybe Chris and Frisk's skin are so weird because Toby Fox picked random colors for them. Quite possible. I think it is supposed to look very like generic skin color, but the problem is that it just looks kind of yellow face. Just looks odd. The lighting helped with it a little bit. It's weird because again, on the game itself, it's like, oh, this is fine. But as soon as you try and like draw it and color pick, you're like, I don't know if I like this. Everybody else it looks fine. But with Chris and Frisk, it's just like, these are interesting colors. Or Simpsons yellow, I guess is probably the word for it. Go back to, oops, just realized. Digging into that. Miss Des, she disappeared. No. How could she do this to us? December appeared. That's so sad, though. I say, literally drawing the sad scene. Des, where did you disappear to? straight jacket there. This is going to be especially hard because it is super dark and even the flashlights, so lighting wise, they really shouldn't have much of anything going on right now. But we need to at least be able to see some of what's happening. Can't be like today's lighting of modern movies where it's like, this scene takes place at night, so you're not going to see what happens in it. You just have to use your imaginations. Of course, the reason why they make these scenes so dark is because it's like, well, the lighting's really dark, you can't see visual effects errors because we overworked the animators and the visual effects artists, and they didn't have time or money to make it look good, so it looks bad. But if it's too dark to see, then you can't tell. And also, you know, like, cinematography people are unionized too, so that's another reason why they fired them. So if movies are too dark to see, the reason is, as always, money. Okay. Just hang in there, Friday's coming. Which it is. Yeah, I know a bit of a annoyance nowadays is that movies are too dark to see often. And it's not because the people making it are stupid, it's because it's cheaper in a couple of ways to make it unseeable. Okay. Back to you, Crisp. And I'm not drawing it here because I'm probably gonna do that as an effect later, but they're not immediately jumping up to save a desk because they are scared of something. There's something scary. It's too scary. And also they're like 10 years old, so they're allowed to be scared. It's Halloween, perfect time to traumatize some children. I don't know, were any kids actually traumatized by something Halloween related? I don't think I have any trauma related Halloween stuff. That is what Halloween's for. Traumatizing children, even though normally it doesn't actually happen. Okay. Traumatize this teenager anyway. What is that there? She got punished for doing the right thing. I swear this looks so much darker on my tablet than it does on the other screen. Why? Wait, it's her skirt. I wonder if it's looking right. You have a good Halloween story? Those are fun. I'll be down for good Halloween stories. So do you have a good Halloween story to traumatize kids with? Get them all spooked and scared? Spooky, scary skeletons. Shivers down your spine and all that goodness. Uh-oh, did the screen prop come to life? Did it jump out to get you? There's a guy just waiting there for some kids to come up, and then like, you got jump scared, jump spooked. That's really funny, actually. Like, not supposed to be scary, but that's actually funny. Best Halloween stuff is both scary and funny, so there you go. It was not a Scream Pop. It was somebody in the Scream costume, right? Oh no. That would definitely spook me good, but also that's a really good joke. That is actually a good joke. Yeah, no, I would be definitely spooked, but that is a good joke, so I'll allow it. Like sometimes you get a, Halloween joke and it's like, okay, that wasn't very funny. Why did you do that to a kid? But sometimes you get a good one. Like again, when I was little, we got this really big pumpkin one somewhere, and the kids were so excited to carve it. We carved this nice big pumpkin. We set it out. We were so proud of it. And some kids came along, some teens or whatever, and they smashed our pumpkin and drove off. And us kids were crying because we worked so hard on this pumpkin and we really liked it. And it had been smashed. And it's like, dude, your prank wasn't cool. All you did was make some kids cry. And I know, they smashed our pumpkin. And not even in the good music way. I mean, oh, come on. Get back here. Yeah, we were so upset. It was so sad. We were all excited about this pumpkin. And they smashed it. And, nothing wrong with smashing some pumpkins. That can be very fun. But if you're going to do that, go get your own pumpkin and smash it. Or launch it out of a cannon, whatever you want to do. Don't steal some random person's pumpkin and steal it and smash it. Because you're probably going to make some kids cry. And that's not a very good Halloween prank. This was a long time ago. I don't remember how old I was. I was probably like, I don't know, 9 years old or something like that. Quite a while. And I still remember it. It was a sad day. She got big hair. I wonder how I had this situated. These are very dark colors, and they're already in total blackness with no light sources. It's hard. Okay. Now I had a... Oh. Stop that. I'm trying to zoom. Please let me just zoom. That's all I want. That's all I want out of you. Just let me zoom. Probably just, good grief, time is flying. How is it already time for another stretch? How is it already time? I feel like I just stretched. that's a good sign, though. It means I'm having fun. Which I do want to be having fun with this one. And again, like, this still looks kind of silly. We haven't done everything yet. Okay. We'll do a little bit more and then we'll stretch. Just a little bit more. At least we are almost done with page 3, which is approximately halfway. If we get halfway through the character stuff today, then I'll be happy with that. Okay, back to crisp. Crispy chicken humans. Yeah, okay, we'll finish up crisp real quick and then I'll take another stretch break. Gotta keep doing those. Otherwise I'll just keep going and going without stopping. My wrist will not like that. Where'd that very dark green go? The darkest green. The next popular non-fiction novel, The Darkest Green. Man, I put in a little thing to maybe get an AO3 account and start posting some of the comics on AO3 since people mentioned maybe wanting that. But I haven't gotten the invite for it yet. Hopefully I will soon. Well, I was made aware that you have to host the pictures separately. You can't just upload them like you can with most social media sites, so find a separate host for them and put them there. It might be nice just to have another archive of this. We're almost done. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. We are putting down rough colors for this comic, so they're gonna look a little funky without shading or anything. Not rough colors, putting down like flat colors. But I'm about to take a break in just a little bit. Oh, wrong one. Do this in proper order. Okay. So we got some colors down there. Yeah, hopefully we'll get to page 4 today at least. Halfway through would be good. First, we must stretch. Yeah, this is gonna look funky until I put down my shading and lines and all that. Yes, it is this. I'll go back to a page where she looks a little bit happier. Where she looks cooler. less in distress. I'm working on something for posting on Halloween. Kind of a prequel to the Deal with the Devil comic I did last year. Which might be one of my most popular Deltarune comics ever. That one got a ton of attention. But it was fun to do. It's nice to do some stuff in color now and then. Even if color I feel like is probably my weakest thing. Is she a bouncy pumpkin? No, she's not a bouncy pumpkin. She's a girl. Lancer is a bouncy pumpkin. What are you yelling about me? Instagrams? Instagrammies? Nope, not everyone can be like Lancer. Only Lancer can be Lancer. Only he's that cool. Okay, more stretch. Stretchy. Okie doke. Back for one more stretch. And I return to continue on with the coloring. And the orange juice. Okay. You know, I got some stuff that we can't see just yet, but there are scary things in the background. They're so scary. They'll spook you right out of your pantsy. As Chris can attest to. As we established that pantsies are now a thing. Who's that little one hanging out there? Crisp hair, or crisp, yeah, I can't talk. Crisp hair everywhere. Ooh, that sounds fun. Well, thank you for coming to the stream. I hope you have fun at dinner. I'll keep going 1 or 2 more sessions. We'll see how long it goes. I'll try and make as much progress as possible. Base, that's not correct. It's character based. Got that wrong. Must label things correctly, at least for my own sake. I say typing that layer wrong. Whatever. Whatever. Ooh, that's a long trip. My parents are always busy off on trips as well. For a number of different things, usually not fun things, sadly. But that's okay. Okay. Yeah, someday in the future, I'll go out with friends for dinner and stuff again. I'm mostly just at home all the time, doing my thing. Pokemon Go sent you a gift. I can't open that right now. Try to take care of that. Wow, this brush is being a little funky to me. Being a little chunky. But it is fun to work with, so I'll keep using it. I keep losing track of the green I'm supposed to be using. Well, just make sure you get, if you're on AO3, do make sure you get your work done first. You gotta be able to do both. Although, yeah, I'm sure it's very funny. Even though I know maths are not very fun, I definitely am not super good at the maths. Well, I suppose they're fun for some people. Unfortunately for me, I cannot get them. Though I have tried. I think the math teachers I've had that have actually been good, and I know I had at least one good math teacher. I think my freshman year math he was a pretty good teacher. There you go. Probably one of the things that's like, okay, once you apply yourself and, you know, get really invested in it, you probably do well. The trick is getting invested. Which can be very tough, I know. Yeah, exactly. I imagine that the way math is fun for people is the same way that, you know, solving a puzzle is fun sometimes. I do enjoy me some puzzles. I like jigsaws quite a bit. Those are like my relaxing time. Doing jigsaws. I have a couple that I finished and then dismantled. I'll have to see if I ever do another one again. Ooh, painting rocks. That's fun too. There's a big old rock on my old college campus that is just painted over all the time, you know, by the sororities and fraternities or for events or clubs or stuff like that. And that rock is probably like a third bigger than it used to be because it has so many layers of paint on it because people would just like, you know, paint on top of it. You don't wash it off when you're done. So many layers of paint. It's possible, but I don't know every storyboard artist, so it's also possible I don't know them. Especially if they're in California, and I am not. I know a bunch of Canadian artists. Because that's where I live right now. Let's see. Trying to figure out which spots are where. Wait, actually, I think maybe that is leg. And that is skirt. It's hard when everything's in too much perspective. Oh, that is kind of fun. I might be more inclined to do math. I'm like, I get to use the fancy markers for it. And you get to do fancy math. The fanciest math of all. Okay. If you calligraphy your notes, I'll definitely make you spend more time on them at least. Which, you know what, it's probably not a bad idea to get kids to, like, you know, sit and pay attention to their notes. Yeah, a good teacher can make a big load of difference. Teaching is very hard, though. So, it's nice when you get a good teacher that's, you know, really helpful, and especially if it's a subject that, like, otherwise you don't have interest in, and, like, you can still get a lot out of it. That is a tough thing to come by. So it's, when you get it, that's really nice. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Yes, we are in the middle of turmoil and drama. And also, it's very dark, which makes it a little bit hard to color. But we're managing. Yeah. It's probably gonna get darker, yet darker still, because I gotta add some other shadow stuff going on to help 3Dify things. 3D! What if you can't teach? Exactly. Well, yeah, the whole idea with that phrase is that it's supposed to be kind of an insult, so I would not pay it much mind. But yeah, it's tough. I've done teaching before, and it's like, this is really hard. How do my friends do it? I don't like it. It's like you think you're doing well, all of a sudden this kid starts crying because they don't understand the thing and they feel bad about it, and you're like, oh no! I'm a bad teacher. I can't imagine doing that kind of stress every day. Yeah, like I've had some math teachers that were pretty good, and I've had some that were really not. The last math teacher I had basically was like, yeah, the way we're teaching this class is you do it out of the book and you break up into, you know, groups to do it, which pretty much means that the smart kids had to teach all the rest how to do the math, and nobody really liked that, at least of all the smart kids. Teacher barely did anything, honestly. It was not a great time. Yep, when you're 10 or 11 years old, that's when you start being like, well, I'm getting my identity down. I'm gonna choose not to do things. Right, I'm gonna have a mouth desk over here. Well, if you like teaching, it is very fulfilling, but definitely stresses me out. I like being able to just be left to my own projects. Well, definitely you're going to be around people a whole lot, so if you're an antisocial type, you might struggle a bit. Okay. I gotta add in the rest of her hair. Her hair's all over the place. Okay, this is the silhouette I drew. Now I'm trying to follow the silhouette that I drew. Why did I draw it that way? Not even I know. That's a cool lady. I'm glad you had a good math teacher then. Something like math, that really can make a big difference. Not the easiest thing to teach, especially for dummy dum-dums like me. And I was like, how do I do math? I don't know. But man, I remember when I was like doing basic math and like I think elementary school, sometimes it'd be like, no calendars, you have to do this with your own mind. Or not calendars, a calculator. Why did I say calendars? Good grief. I'll try it. Okay, class, take out your worksheet. Are you taking out your worksheets now? Do your homework. You gotta do it. You feel an internal compulsion to get out your worksheet. That's good. Maybe you got some volunteer mentoring stuff. Yeah, I think my problem is like, just in terms of social stuff, if I am upset about something and I need to hide it for like social reasons, I'm really bad at that. I kind of wear my upsetness on my sleeve. It is very obvious when I'm like, you know, something's bothering me or whatever. So if you are in a position where it's like, okay, you need to hide your discomfort from people for social reasons. I don't know if I do very well with that. Or, you know, tell like a little lie for whatever reason. Sometimes you gotta do that for, again, social reasons, work reasons, what have you. And I am not super good about that. Oh, that is rough. Learning how to drive is tough in general, so you gotta give yourself some grace with that. Okay. Again, flat colors are slowly happening. Yeah, mentoring one kid versus like a classroom is totally different. Very different experience. Like at least with one kid you can just focus on them. Let's say that's not correct. But with the whole classroom you gotta pay attention to a bunch of people at once. Again, we are seeing something right now that I will get to later. Plenty of effects left to do. is just a little scrunkly. They need some mentoring too. Where'd that green go again? Keep losing track of it. Yeah, that's frustrating too. I was the sort that never wanted to participate in class. I'm like, I'm just happy to listen. I don't want to talk. So, talking always made me feel awkward. Which probably would have been better if I had learned how to participate in class more, because now I'm always feeling like, I've got something I should say. I don't want to say it though, so I'll never will, and it will stay bottled up in me forever. The end. I don't feel like I'm very good at sharing my opinions. Mostly because I'm like, sharing my opinions might cause conflict. I can't do that, no! So I never do. For some people, they're pretty good with that. I kind of wish I was better with it, but it is what it is. Kind of a harder thing to learn once you're an adult. Yay! Good job! I'm gonna send you a gold star through the internet. There's your gold star. Good job. Man, maybe I should just stream a bunch so that people can get their schoolwork done with my teacher voice that I apparently have. Come to my streams. Somehow you'll get your homework done. We don't know how or why, but it'll happen. That's the magic of being raised by teachers, I guess. Literally, both my parents are teachers. So if I get it from anywhere, it's from them. I have a little bit of customer service voice because I briefly worked at a call center. Even though a lot of the time when I was in the call center, I was just sitting there waiting for all the calls to come in, and I didn't have to actually call people. Which, that's, waiting for somebody to call you is infinitely better than you having to call them. I'll say that right now. And usually it was like, you want to talk to somebody? So-and-so? Okay, here I go, bye-bye. And I'll never hear from you again. Honestly, the worst thing was, I don't know, I had like a day or two where, while I was at the college, budding queer folk and some, you know, I don't know, organization, radio show, pundit, whatever, was like, hey, this college has a, you know, GLBT campus on board. You can't have that because you're a Christian college. You should go call the college and express your displeasure about it. So guess what I got? I got a bunch of calls from people like in an entirely different state than the college, being like, why do you have this gay thing on campus? I object to that. I don't go to the college, but as a Christian, I'm gonna complain to you about it. Couldn't transfer these people anywhere unless they talk to, you know, like the provost or something, but he's busy. So it sucked. It was a big pain in the butt. Especially since I'm like, my dude, you don't care at all who you're talking to. You just want to complain at somebody. The person you're complaining to is, well, I was not super aware of it at the time, another queer person. So, you can heck right off. Oh no! Oh no! This is my regular talking voice. My regular talking while I draw crisp, scared out of their wits voice. Okay, with that in mind, I think it's time to take one more break. And we'll do another session after I stretch. Because I think an ad's running now, so maybe I finally got them to line up. We should get through page 4, so that's pretty good. We're making pretty good progress. Yeah, no, that's a tough thing to garner, is if you can get the respect of kids in a classroom. That's like a tough thing to do, I think. That's also why usually, like, I think subs have it very hard, and subs and substitute teachers, you know, is coming in and trying to take care of the class for a day, because, like, a sub hasn't garnered any of the respect that a teacher has spent a long time building, so the kids have zero reason to respect the sub or do what they want, because they're like, well, you're not going to be here tomorrow, what do I care what you think, kind of thing. So that's tricky. I mean, substituting is hard. It's probably best just to be like, okay, I'm going to say as little as possible and just give you stuff to do. Because trying to actually teach is not going to go over well. Because again, the kid's like, I don't know you. What do I care what you think? Goodbye. Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of these banned books now. It's like, it's not a lot of people complaining about book. It's like one person or one or two people that are just like on a rampage trying to ban as much as possible, and if there's no, like, you know, systems in place to prevent that, then it's like, well, this one parent complained, so I guess we gotta do what they say. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a parent, it can just be an adult. So it's very, very frustrating, especially in certain areas right now. Of course, then again, the issue with, like, you know, banned book weeks is that tends to get kids interested. And so, like, oh, why was this book banned? I'm gonna read it. Oh. Alright, be right back. One more stretch. Okie dokie, I'm returning to continue. Okie dokie, I return. We'll see how far I get. Huh, interesting. I've not heard that book, and when you first said the title, I'm like, wait, like the manga? Is that what that is? That's not the manga. Not the manga. I did not have any books when I was growing up about Aero Ace stuff. I did not know it existed when I was a little kid. I'm glad people have resources for it now. Because when I was younger, I was just like, well, I don't know what's going on with me. Something's going on with me. I don't know what. I asked my doctor about it. That's how confused I was. Now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, that's what's going on with me. It's not a problem. Now I can just keep doing my thing. Yeah, I am glad there's more resources now for kids to figure out what their deal is. Because the less time you have to spend worrying about what your deal is, the more time you can spend on other more useful things. Well, figuring out what your deal is useful, but it's not something you want to keep having to deal with over and over. You want to be like, what's my deal? This is my deal. Now that I know what my deal is, I can do what I want, accomplish what I want to. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad my parents are pretty understanding. Well, I don't know if I don't think they get it, but they don't harp on me about, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids? And I was like, okay, we have accepted that we're not getting kids from you, and that's fine. Well, I suspect my mom's a little bit anxious about that, because of us 3 kids, I'm Ace, and another brother is gay, so we got one straight kid out of 3 who probably will get married soon, so if things go okay. But at least there's one option there. Yeah, I think a lot of parents do not get it, because, you know, again, I never heard this stuff growing up. I did not know it existed. So if I never heard it growing up, you can imagine that was absolutely not something that my parents heard growing up. They would never have heard that. Yeah, and it's okay if, like, at one point you're like, oh, maybe I'm Ace, and then later you realize, oh, no, I'm not. Like, the thing of it is like, it's fine to move around and explore, and again, figure out what is my deal. And some people know what their deal is very early on. And some people, it takes a long time to figure out their deal. You just have to give grace to everybody and realize, hey, maybe some people are still figuring out their deal. Just give grace in general. Yeah, my issue is that, like, I don't think I need romance. I don't want romance, but what I do want is, like, companionship, kind of. Because at least the one thing that's a little stressful as you get older is you're like, oh, this would be easier if I had just, like, somebody else in my life to help me do this. You know, various things. Like, things would be a little bit easier if I, you know, was not doing this all by myself. And unfortunately, you're expected to do that with a romantic partner. It's like, well, I don't want a romantic partner to do this, but I would like a person that I can, you know, rely on, who can rely on me to help me do, you know, various things in life that require, or this, maybe not even require, but are easier with, you know, more than one person there. And potentially safer, too. It can be, a little safer to do things with other people. Yeah, I probably should look into those. Like, I got, you know, friends I see, not the reg, but as frequently enough as I can. But, it'd probably be better to have some more, you know, again, queer platonic friends. It would just be nice to people like, hey, I'm not interested in romance or anything like that, but I just want a person that I can rely on to do things with. Or that if I'm in trouble, I can rely on to help with. And Unfortunately, as you get older, that's a harder and harder thing to do. So the clock's probably ticking for me on that. Oh yeah, Vancouver's very queer. There's probably plenty of people. I'm just very much I'm very much a homebody. Again, people were like, as I'm starting up on the new show soon, they're like, do you want to work from home or do you want to work in the office? And I'm like, from home, please. And it would probably be better to go in the office, but at this point I am very used to working from home. I've been doing it for almost 3.5, coming up on 4 years. And I have a routine now, and I know I can get work done pretty well on my own. So I'm like, well, I don't want to, have to worry about commuting and leaving my lizard home alone, even though she never comes out. All that business. Yeah, that's another problem. It's like I don't want to have like kids to do free labor for me. That's another thing that always bothered me. Is people will be like, "Are you gonna have kids?" And I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, who's gonna take care of you when you're older?" And I'm like, well, I don't want to have kids for the express purpose of somebody taking care of me when I'm older. That's not really fair to them. They're people too. I think that's been the expectation for a long time, and I don't think it's necessarily a good thing. It's like you should have kids because you're like, I want to raise another human being, not I want to have kids to, take care of me when I'm old because I have no other options. That kind of sucks. Saves gas to not commute, saves time too. Like I usually take public transit to work anyway, but it always takes time. I gotta walk there and all that stuff if I'm taking public transit too. So not having to do that is like, this saves some time. I mean, Vancouver is definitely not a shiny utopia. It's a cool place, I think. I do like it a lot, but utopia it is not. For one thing, it is incredibly expensive to get housing here, and because of that, there is a big homeless problem. Because it's too expensive to buy to rent and buy a thing. Yeah, exactly. Without a commute, I can do extra stuff, like exercises. Although again, at least doing public transit is a little bit of exercise on its own because I have to walk part of the way. But I like being able to just walk around the park instead of having to walk to work. A bit more of a pain. No, it is like LA, but with maple syrup. It's like, I'm very sorry to inform you of this, but it is in fact very expensive to live here. In fact, I would venture to say it's probably one of the most expensive cities on the continent. It's very pretty, but it's not cheap. This is like, it's not cheap here either. Help me! Help me! Yay, Weird Al, he's the best. Weird Al's great. I went to a friend's church once. I was just visiting them, and they're like, "You want to go to our church?" I'm like, "Sure." And we went to their church, and Weird Al was there because he goes to that church. He's actually very shy in real life, and so he was sitting in the back and did not want to talk to people. Yeah, Weird Al goes to a small little church in Hollywood. It's just like, yep, here I am. Weird Al's cool. All AI is weird. I don't want weird AI, I want Weird Al. Yeah. He is a nice guy. But he is actually quite, at least from what I hear, he's quite shy in real life. He's not performing. Which, good. Don't get too caught up in what people want, because that can get exhausting. Let's see. I used to listen to Weird Al all the time when I was younger. We had some. I think I had his I had a bunch of CDs that I would listen to in high school. We had CD. We didn't have DVD. We didn't have MP3 players. We had CDs. So I think I had the Running with Scissors CD, and that was fun. I always like to listen to the Albuquerque, a super long like song about, I don't know, just random stuff happening to him. That was good stuff. Des, what is happening with your hair? What is happening with your ear? Where did I put all these lines? Oh, hello, thank you for coming. And thank you again for being subscribed. I super appreciate it. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to go. I would like to get as much done as we can, but also eventually got to stop and feed Alfies and myself. Oh, forgot that ear back there. I forgot the ear. Yeah, I hope you all are doing well as well. I always super appreciate it. Get rid of some of that. Oh, hello. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. I super appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer we're going, but we're still going for now. With a very upset Des. Thank you. Alright, that is... get the mouth open stuff going on. Hope your stream went well. Things are not going well for Des here. That's how it goes. Glad that it went well for you. Yeah, this is going to look a little awkward at first because we're just putting down flat colors. For now. And she's in distress because she is going to fall. And Chris is too scared to save. They're too scared. Those scary things are happening. Scary things are happening to me. Yeah, today is just getting down base colors, which is why it looks kind of weird. If only she had mountain goat hooves. Exactly. These reindeer hooves, great for the snow, not great for much else. But she's a reindeer. That's not the same as mountain goat hooves. Okay. Oh, and thank you for subscribing. I really super appreciate it. Once I get a few more subscribers, then hopefully I can add some more emotes. I need to do that. Yes, reindeer for the ground. My day has been okay so far. I've mostly been working on this. I'm trying to make as much progress as possible because this is my last week before I go back to work. And then I will have a lot less time to work on stuff like this. And I have a deadline of get this done by Halloween, so that's why I'm working on it now. I know I need to get back to Livestream comic stuff too, but right now we're just doing this first. And then once this is done, I'll get back to Livestream comic because I have another one of those to do, and it's probably going to take a while because it looks like it's going to be a long one. Yeah, again, hopefully I should be able to do art streams on like Sundays if I don't have anything else going on Sundays. But probably no more midweek because I'll be working. Yep, that's why darker than pink is pretty cool. Speaking of, I need to double check the votes on that, see if I can do anything about that. She fell! No! Reindeer fell down the hole. Elevator go up. Elevator go down. Elevator go down the hole. Does anybody remember that Tiny Toons cartoon? I remember, like, I don't know which one it was. It was like a... What was the name of the duck that was supposed to be Daffy, but he's, like, younger? Yeah, Tiny Toons. Elevator go down the hole. Plucky, that was it. His name was Plucky. I forgot. No, I think you're right. I think his name was Plucky. This is going to look really awkward until I add shading to it, because nobody can tell what's next going on. And I don't know what it was about that particular cartoon that was so memorable, but just the baby talk. Elevator go down the hole. Oh, that's her ear. I couldn't tell what that was. That's all good. Can only do one thing at a time, as it turns out. I wish I could do multiple things at a time. I'm drawing and writing at the same time. You can't stop me. But I only have two hands and I have to keep resting them. Sheesh. I prefer them with the hoof hands, honestly, but I don't think that's canon. And also, it's not going to work for this particular scenario. I don't think she could have held on very well with hoof hands. But in terms of like what I think design-wise looks better, I prefer with the hoof hands. But unfortunately, don't think we can do that here. And I'm trying to like kind of get used to drawing them with regular hands more often. I think that's kind of what's expected. Well, I was... Sorry, I got the coughs again. Ugh. Yeah, but it's important to draw hands. Yeah, Chopper has hoof hands, but I think in Deltarune they have regular hands. That certainly seems to be the implication. What do I think about growing up in the 80s? Well, I think people are kind of over-romanticizing it. Like, they were fine. They weren't any better than any other decade. In fact, I'm sure politically they were kind of worse. You're dealing with Reagan. I didn't have to deal with Reagan because I was a baby. But other people did. And, what else? I also didn't like, you know, people like, oh, all these cool things we had in the 80s and 90s. I'm like, dude, I was poor in the 80s. We had, like, 1 or 2 movies we taped off TV once, and we watched them over and over again, and we were happy with that. Well, the first step to drawing anything that looks good is drawing it bad like 100 times, and then it'll look better eventually. So, gotta keep doing it. Also, I remember the 90s a lot more than I remember the 80s, because I was like 4 or 5 years old most of the time in the 80s. I haven't seen the show Inside Job, but I probably should at some point because I'm sure it looks really good. Although, didn't they cancel it? Because, of course, Netflix did. Because Netflix can't keep anything up for more than, like, 6 days, practically. very annoying. I will admit I like the music. I like the really bad synth kind of stuff. I like that 90s pan flute music you would get all the time in shows. Like kids' cartoons, they had a lot of pan flute music. I unironically like that. I think it's fun. But like the decade itself is okay. It's fine. Again, I barely got much experience of it because I was mostly a small child home watching the same movie 50 times in a row. And yeah, best way to get better is to study the fundamentals. That's how you improve. Do life drawing if you're able to. Oh, we're gonna get lost in the sauce on her skirt here. I really should do some more life drawing myself, honestly. I never have time. I'm always too busy with, like, work and then the bajillion things I want to draw for home or for fun. But then, probably would look better if I spent more time on the anatomy and stuff like that. That's the one problem with being a storyboard artist is I'm like, I have no patience for anything. If a drawing takes me longer than an hour, I'm going to cry. Don't bother with the how to draw manga book, honestly. Draw like actual people in real life. Like, I know a lot of people start from, you know, stuff they like manga and that's fine. But if you're really serious about, like, improving on your own, like, draw things from real life. The best way to improve on stuff is just observation. Like, see things in the world and draw what you see. And that's gonna, like, kind of strengthen your imagination for things you don't see. You do have to start learning from somewhere, but I am saying that a good place to learn is from real life. Like, real life is not harder to draw from than manga. It's all just observation. Because basically the thing with people who are drawing manga, they're drawing from the same well, which is looking at real life and interpreting it. So if that's where they're starting from, then you might as well start from that too. That's all most people are doing anyway, is just like looking at real life and being like, how am I going to interpret that? And then you do it. I just realized that's supposed to be your shirt up high because she's falling at an angle. Yeah, it's kind of a bit more like that. Yeah, fine. Yeah, like, I think when you're, like, a little kid and you're first starting out, like, yeah, of course you're going to copy, you know, like, what you want. And that's all good, well and good. And honestly, nothing wrong with copying when you're older, too. Although I will say, once you are older, vary up where you copy from. Like, you want a wide variety of sources, if you're going to copy somebody else. And obviously, you don't post that and say, oh, I did this, because you didn't, you traced it. But it's fine to use that as, like, practice. I've certainly done that before. And, when was my next, break time? I forgot already! So we need to switch up the palette here. That's cool. Yeah, again, there's nothing wrong with, like, copying from other artists, because what you're doing is studying how did somebody else do this, and what do I like about how they did it, and what do I not like about how they did it. But that can't be all you do. You also have to, like, do the same thing they're doing and, you know, copy from, or study life and figure out, how do I want to do this? A little, Alright, get some other colors going on here because they're outside. Yeah, when I was little, I, didn't draw humans very much because I didn't want to. And that came back to bite me in the butt later. So I was like, wait a minute. It's not as easy for me to draw humans as it is to draw animals, but I need to be able to draw both. Oh no. So yeah, it's fine to do from other sources. Just again, oh, this is so bright compared to everything else. Good grief. I'll do some stark shadows here. Look at this neon going on. But just make sure to vary your sources. Copy from lots of different places so that you can get a wide variety of stuff. Aww. That is sweet. Also, we were 12. Yeah. There's barely a difference between the yellow and the green on Chris's shirt here. Oh well. Expression sheets are good. I think somebody asked on an Ask recently, how do you draw snouts? So I might post something to that soon. Well, the problem is I was trying to how do I explain how I draw snouts? I don't know, I just do it. Teaching's hard. You are OG. Super OG. Chris lost their red horn headband. It's the worst in the world. I want to do some serious shadowing around here, but again, we are just getting down the base colors. Yeah, that typically does not happen. It is not a romantic gesture to draw people from life. I mean, it can be if you're in certain settings, but most of the time you are sitting there in a classroom and it's way too cold and they're way too cold and very tired and kind of falling asleep. You're all kind of falling asleep as you draw somebody. Not very romantic. No, you're definitely not lovingly staring into anybody's eyes. Okay, the problem is I'm gonna need to figure out what the heck, Azrael, what are you wearing? Azrael, what are you wearing? I'm gonna call you up and ask what you're wearing, Azrael. So is this pure white? Yes, it is. Okay. Perhaps with that, I guess. I don't know if he should be wearing green or not. Maybe he should be wearing something else. I don't know. I'm out of the zone. College shirt. He's still probably in high school, though. Thank you. I'm glad you think it looks good so far. Maybe she's wearing like a dark blue or something. Or a light blue. That's true. He could be wearing red. That would be a good way to contrast. Oh, the colors got super. I was like, oh, everything's so dark, and now the colors are just like super bright. I'm like, they're outside and it's sunset. Everything's dark. Yeah, he's probably wearing red. That would make no sense. Ah. That's true, unfortunately. Please show us the boy. Show us the fluffy boy. I want I don't know, I want at the end of chapter 3 of them for Asper to call on the phone and be like, hi, what's going on? It's like a joke or something. So we can see a I don't know, a little face sprite for him, even if we don't see you know, full body. Show us something. Oh, maybe he's got a black shirt on. I don't know. Call us on the Idiot Baby Hotline. Actually, it would be funny if he's like, hey Chris, is this the hotline for idiot babies? They got scared. They got really scared. They are very sad, but it is cute. You gotta run the big bro! I'm gonna put a lot of funky shading on this. But yeah, red's probably good just to contrast it with the green that Chris is wearing. To give him a red shirt. He's like, I'm patriotic, wearing my red, white, and blue. Gotta figure out what he's wearing. All over the place in terms of colors right now, though. Why are they idiots? Yeah, I feel like the whole thing is like, if you're a baby, you're kind of automatically an idiot, and you're allowed to be. You're supposed to be an idiot when you're a baby. You don't know anything because you're a baby. If the baby was not an idiot, I'd kind of be more concerned. Yeah, cute sibling relationships are super good. That's why I'm like, I want to see more of Asriel getting to be cute with his sibling. We didn't get much of that in Undertale. It's because horrible things happened. So give us more of that here. Okay. Guess let's do a darker red on the edge of this, because why not? I think I will give him like a shirt or something, like a white shirt. I don't know. Just playing it by ear. I'll probably go until like 5 o'clock and then we'll stop because I'll have to feed Alfie's anyway. Oh no. They thought you were a genius, baby, but you were just a bald child. I was bald quite a bit when I was born, but my little brother had just full-on shock of red hair when he was born. He was super redhead. Alright, did we get everything with this? Oh, no. We gotta get the... stuff. I do remember the movie Baby Geniuses. I don't think it was a very good movie. I think it was a silly movie. Oh, we're already on page 5. That's pretty good. This is only like 2.5 more pages. Did I save a color for Asgore's police uniform? What time is it there now? It's 4:45. So we're almost done. Okay. He's got super white fur. I gotta give him his little paw pads too. I like giving them paw pads. Now they probably don't have paw pads, but I don't care. I like giving them paw pads. I'm allowed to give them paw pads. They're allowed to have beans. Let the dreamers have beans. Yeah, there's several pages. That's why it says page 5 up there. Oh, their hair probably is 2 shades of brown. Okay, I don't think his hair's gonna turn blonde with time. I don't think it's blonde yet, though. I'm gonna give a little bit of shading down there, though. Just a little bit. Let's see. Right there. Pretty dark though. Oh well, it's supposed to be dark shading. We'll do most of this later. I want to do like a blue or something to differentiate the eyes. Well, usually I make the fur kind of a different off-white and make the eyes purely white, but hopefully it'll work with this. Gotta differentiate them. The glasses we'll do later. Glasses on top. Yeah, I remember Clamp. I used to read that a bunch when I was young. Yeah, definitely try from a wide variety of sources. Yeah, we'll do his glasses later. We might do something else regarding that stuff. Just trying to get all this down as much as possible. But definitely we'll be going back in with more shading, more detail, more everything. More of the great deals you love. Yep, always good to help draw from different angles. It depends on what story you're reading, though, right? Because, like, there's a lot of different Clamp stories out there. Ah, get out of here. I was not really exposed to manga at all until I got to high school. Like, the most I knew about it was, like, Pokemon and Sailor Moon. And then, like, in my art class, one of my friends was like, oh, yeah, you gotta check out this manga. It's called X 1999. And I was like, okay. And I opened that up and immediately greeted with pictures of, like, anime girls being crucified. And I was like, I've been too sheltered for this. Drawing request, please. Drawing request. I want you to draw the cricket that escaped from, you know, the cricket pens a while ago and was loose in my house. Draw the adventures of the lone cricket. Yeah, on retrospect, I started in weird places with manga. Like, that was one of my first exposures to manga. And then when I was at an anime convention, I'm like, okay, I guess I should try out my own series. I'm gonna get Excel Saga. Great place to start with anime. Spoilers, it was not a great place to start with anime. It was pretty funny, but probably not a good place to start. Yeah, not kidding about that. Anime girls were crucified. Almost immediately. Discord just restarted while I'm busy doing stuff. I mean, Fullmetal Alchemist isn't that bad as a starter anime. That's pretty good. Pretty decent, I feel like. Okay, I think they're just doing a Halloween thing. That's not just me. Like, we're doing new things. I'm not sure what other Clamp manga I read. I think I read XX Holic and Tsubasa when they were first out, but I didn't get very far with them. I just first ones when they're out. Crisp is having a bad day. In a bad way. Yeah, Cardcaptor Sakura is probably a good place to start too. And, you know, Sailor Moon was on the air for a while. I'm sure a lot of people got exposed to it through that. And nothing wrong with that. That's a good one. People make fun of it, but honestly, it was pretty good. Beastars. I never saw the second season. I saw the first season, though. That's the furry anime. What was that anime I saw? Not recently, it was a while ago, but I think it was, I got, like, recommended to me by, like, a Super Eye Patch Wolf. I think it was called Weird Taxi. I really liked that. That was a really good anime. Beastars is good. Alright, did we get everything down on the base colors? Mostly. I'm gonna do those guys back there. On the other one. Probably put them in more shadow and stuff like that. Clamp School Detectives. Yeah, I think I might have heard of that one a while ago. Asbor's here to save the day. He is the chief of police. Nothing will go wrong. Okay. Asbor, where is your hair? It's over there. And at the end of this comic, I'm like, dude, Asbor's gone through, like, total crap. This poor guy. Like, wait a minute, in this scenario, things go horribly for him. This is so sad. Asgore, no! Well, I imagine we are going to be visiting his flower shop as a future Dark World, and hopefully fix whatever is going on with him. Poor guy. This poor man. Poor goat man. I'm sorry, Death just fell down a hole. They're sad about it. They are deeply upset. They have every right to be deeply upset about Death falling down a hole. Death fell down the hole. It's the economy of panels. I do like the yellow for his beard. Sorry about that. Ugh. I don't want to have a chronic cough anymore. They're very annoying. I'm sure they're not fun for you guys either. Well, the worst is when I'm like, I'm sleeping peacefully in my bed. And then, blah, 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 blah. Not great. I don't think his beard goes down that much. Another collar thing here. I'll have to smooth that out later. I'll do the same blue we're doing for Asriel. Well, sometimes the best way to build confidence is just to do it. Even if you're scared, doing it helps build you the confidence to do it. Usually how it goes. Okay. Now, give me some water. Okay. Yeah, I probably need some cough syrup or something. Okie dokie. Let's, we're gonna work on Rudy and them here. And I think once we finish this, the colors on this panel, we will decide that it's done. After that, I'll basically have 2 more pages to do with all that. Say yes or no, either one. Yes. That's my answer. Say yes to the dress. Unless this is one of those phone things where it's like, we're going to trick you into saying yes so that we can steal your voice and use that for scams and all that business, which nobody wants that. Okay. Yeah, that's often the reason why I end up doing a lot of comics rather than just writing. Because I'm like, well, there's a visual gag I want to do here, or something visually I want to do here. I'll tell it best if I can just do it visually. Even though that's always way more time consuming than just writing it out. Oh, I forgot his paw pads! I gotta do his paw pads! What color should I do his paw pads? We like kind of a pinkish. Here we go. No, wrong one. Paw pads! I will give you beans. Whether you like it or not, you will have beans. Beans will be had. Okay. I'm glad that yes was what to say. Alright, yeah, red nose. And, yeah, stuffy. Sad Noel is sad. Oh, colored pencils are nice, and nothing with colored pencils, like you can always mix and match to get what you need. Right, the problem is I need to figure out what Rudy is wearing. He is not wearing his hospital gown here, so he's not gonna be wearing that. Okay, just be aware if you do the AP exam, that's going to be a lot of work because you have to basically make a portfolio for the exam. If I recall correctly. So just be aware. You'll also be doing a whole portfolio worth of work. You got to do it. It's not a test. You really do have to do a portfolio. Oh, his hair is just black. I don't think I can make his hair just black. That's going to be too much. Let's put him in jeans, I guess. Some jeans, sure, why not? I don't know what color to make his jacket, though. By May? Okay, so you have... probably need to do about 2 pieces a month. Approximately. So you better get to them. Do some nice works. Reindeer tail. Yeah, I just think ended up that way because that's what I was doing with the colors. Either way, we're gonna do this. Just mess around for a little bit. Now you know it's a Rudy. Everyone knows it's Rudy. Okay. Hooves. What are your color? Your hooves. What color is your hoof? I need to adjust that a little bit later. Give them a slightly lighter color down there. Let's see. It's coming. It's coming, I guess. Well, he's gonna disappear into the background unless I pop that out. Furry Uggs. Well, oftentimes when you're doing shading stuff, you want to use multiple colors anyway. What color is his jacket? Make it pop out. It's not blue. I kind of want to make the jacket just kind of gray. Would be okay with gray? Sure, whatever. This is an okay color. What does Rudy wear when he's not in the hospital? Rudy, what is your outfit? What is it? Yeah, as soon as we're done with Rudy here, I'm going to call it because I got to go, that hospital gown drip. I've got to feed Alfie's and get myself some dinner as well. We're almost done with the base colors. I sure do hope once we have everything down with like shading and stuff that it'll look a little bit nicer. But just getting the shading, the base colors down is obviously a help. A little bit here too. Yoink, yoink. Do little grabbies. Grabbies! I might need to give her white trim on this. We're almost done. Yeah, we just have like 2 more pages to do after this one, which I will tackle later. Prismacolors are always very fun. Yeah, Prismacolor pencils are a very nice kind of art pencil. I was looking without the roughs on it. It's okay. We'll definitely throw on a bunch of shading there. Okay. Yay! We have made progress on these. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop that for now so that I can give Alfie some noms. We did pretty well. We got through 5 pages of these flats for the characters. I only have like 1 more panel of background left to do, and then all the backgrounds will be done. And yeah, we'll keep making progress, and I will get this done by Halloween. The next thing I do on stream will probably not be this. It'll be something else. Either it'll be Deltarune comics or colored characters, because I'm trying to do some more of those as well. Yeah, Prismacolors are very good, but they are expensive. That was always a special treat that me and my little brother would get. We would get big old sets of Prismacolor colored pencils, and we were like, yay! And we would just spend a long time using those. Those were Christmas or birthday gift kind of colored pencils. They were very nice though. I still have like boxes of a bunch. I just don't use them very often because I'm always drawing digitally. But if I wanted to draw traditionally, I have them. I just gotta use them. Yeah, metallic silver is nice. And yeah, Prismacolors have the metallic ones too. They have like metallic silver, gold, copper, all that stuff. It's very good, very good. Susie's growing antlers, watch out. But yeah, doing a stretch, and yeah, we are done with the stream for now. Made some pretty good progress today. And more will be coming. Again, hopefully I can do another stream on Sunday if I don't have anything else pop up. Maybe do Deltarune stuff on Sunday. If all goes well, if nothing else happens. My traditional work, I'd have to dig it up. Again, I haven't done it in a long time. I've mostly just been doing digital, because again, that's easy to share. I'd have to go looking for it. But yeah, I think that's it for now. We've made some decent progress on this comic. You all will see it later. And thanks so much for coming to the stream. I super appreciate you being here. Again, we'll do more games on Friday, and if I'm lucky, more on Sunday, but we'll see. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful rest of the week, and have some fun with colored pencils and other goodness. And I will see you all later. And hope you all have a good night. Alright, bye-bye.